Hey, this is Sky. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So I do life coaching and mentoring, and one of the people that I've been mentoring for quite some time had mentioned in one of our conversations how he felt like nobody really takes him seriously. So we had to dive deeper into that, and I know what that feels like, and see which areas, because usually when someone says that, there's a few, it's either in one or two or multiple areas, but it's not usually across the board. For him, he kind of felt like it was just in general. It wasn't just a weakness in a certain subject that he wasn't taken seriously in that subject. It was just across the board. People weren't looking at him as a man, as capable, as dominant, as the type of person that he felt like he was. He didn't feel like he was being received in that way. So there's obviously a disconnect going on there. We have to figure out what it is, you know, have to dive into that. How can you be taken more seriously? What do you do? How do you work on that? Do you go around bullying people, smacking them around, getting angry? Because that's one option. You get guys who just become douchebags. They become angry. And they just flex their muscles on people, verbally or physically. I know what that's like. Because I know what it's like to be looked at as stupid, as incapable, as dumb, as wishy-washy, as crazy, as immature. I know what it's like for people to look down on me. But I've always been a big guy. I've always been one of the bigger men in the room, in whatever room I'm hanging out in. Even as a kid, I was always the biggest kid in first grade, second grade, third grade, fourth grade, all the way through high school. In ninth grade, I was as big as the 11th and 12th graders. So I wring your little stupid neck. You say 2, 3, 4 things that I don't like, and watch what the fuck happens to you. I can't tell you how many schools I was expelled from. It's not the best way to make friends or to develop as a person, to use violence and aggression as your last resort to get people to quiet down. Because just because I can shut you up if I turn on the fucking heat, I flare these nostrils and push my chest out, and maybe I could get you to shut the fuck up real fucking quick. Get you to sit there in the corner with your fucking stupid bitch mouth shut. I could do that to you. Anytime I want. But that doesn't mean you respect me. That doesn't mean you're taking me serious. It just means you're waiting for me to leave so you can just be like, well, God, that guy's a jerk. There's, I don't know, about 6 different ways, different items that you can pay attention to and work on yourself to be taken more seriously by others, whether it be in business, in relationships, in friendships, in family relations, just in general. This is in no particular order, so let's just go down this list that I wrote. One of the ways, and I know this sounds shallow, but it's true, and we have to acknowledge this, is that in order to be taken seriously within society, say it's in business or say it's in relationships, is our appearance. Your style, your fashion, how you put yourself together as a man. Are you going out of the house wearing house clothes, right? Are you going out wearing flip-flops and sweatpants, right? Looking like, who's that character? Carl from Aqua Teen Hunger Force. That's a funny cartoon. Are you Carl from Aqua Teen Hunger Force? Because guys like that aren't taken seriously. You look like you just rolled out of bed. You look like a loser. Are you dressed like a child? A lot of men never, and myself included, I'm a habitual offender with this. I dress the same way that I did when I was 16. I do. I got the same closet full of rock and roll t-shirts. I wear the same Chuck Taylors, the same jeans. I haven't grown at all. I'm still 6'2". I was 6'2" at 16. I feel like I'm the same motherfucking guy. Just a little bit of gray hair. I've had to update my wardrobe. I still wear my sneakers and my Slayer t-shirts. But there are scenarios when I will dress nicer, more formally, more professionally. I'll avoid the sneaker and the printed t-shirt look in certain scenarios, because I want to be taken more seriously. This is why you dress up in a suit when you go to court, so you can be taken seriously by the judge. Think about your appearance and what areas that you could up your game, step up your fashion a little bit. Having a style. Fitting clothes, this is the first aspect of appearance, is wear clothes that fit. It doesn't always matter what you wear, so much as what you wear is your size and fits you properly. A lot of people don't even know how to shop. You might not be taken seriously just because you walk around like a bum. Ratty clothes. You may be wearing the wrong outfits for the wrong environment. I'm a biker. I hang out with a lot of bikers. You show up to a bike night dressed in a little pink polo shirt with the collar up and your khaki shorts and your boat shoes, your dock shoes, your penny loafers, and no socks, and you show up like that to the bike night. No, you're not going to be taken seriously. Maybe at the yacht club you'd be taken more seriously than me, covered in tattoos and wearing big boots. But you have to know how to look for your environment. Another way to be taken more seriously is through your intelligence, through your mindset. Are you a smart person? Dumb people rarely get taken seriously by anyone. Nobody wants advice from a dumb person. Nobody cares what a dumb person thinks about the daily topics. No, dumb people, unfortunately, and I know what it's like to feel dumb, get swept under the rug in a lot of conversations. You sit there with your mouth shut. I know what that's like, to sit at a party or sit in a social situation with just sitting there staring at my phone, because nobody's really talking to me. Nobody has any interest in Sky or what Sky's thinking about or wants my opinion on anything, because I'm the dumb guy in the room. So smarten up. Study. When was the last time you read or studied? I study every single day. I do. Another way to be taken more seriously is to get in physical shape. A lot of times people who are so horribly out of shape, it projects a certain mental state. So it's not that people judge you as a bad person, but they may not really take you seriously if you're horribly and physically out of shape. Maybe you have a genetic problem or a medical issue, that's one thing. A guy like Stephen Hawking, who was the physicist who was in the wheelchair, that robot guy who talked like a fucking robot, and he's been dead for a while, but he's brilliant. He was taken very seriously, even though he had physical deformities and he had a disease and whatever. So it's not always physical shape, because his intelligence took over, right? But physical shape matters. To be healthy, to be fit. You don't have to be a bodybuilder to be taken seriously. A lot of those guys are not taken seriously. Looked at as dumb. Looked at as foolish, as reckless. But be physically fit. Another way to be taken seriously is through your status. You may be a low status individual. Now this is a tricky point, and it can be offensive to some. When you're poor, you may not always be taken seriously by the rest of society. You may not be looked at as somebody who's important, somebody who matters. You may matter, and you may be important. But your overall status within a group, your hierarchy, where you fall on that ladder, can determine how seriously you'll be taken. I've been in the warehouse at corporations, and when you work at the warehouse, you're pretty much at the bottom and nobody takes you serious. You have to climb that ladder and gain more status. Sometimes that kind of status can mean wealth. Sometimes it can mean alpha dominance. It just depends. Another way to be taken more seriously is to become more independent. To be more independent in your survival. Somebody who's really good at survival can be taken seriously by others. You may really admire or look to advice for somebody who is superb in their survival skills. And survival isn't always just camping. Survival may be an overall mindset of forward movement and growth that is really just unstoppable. The last one, and this is by no means the last way to be taken more serious, it's just the last thing I have on my list, is to be more in control of your emotions. A lot of times when we're not in control of our emotions and we display happiness in wild laughter, laughing the loudest in the room and uncontrollably, you burst into those laughing tears and you can't catch your breath, and you're really emotional, whether it's happy or sad. And when you get sad, you yell, you cry in front of other people, scream in front of other people. You just lose it in one way or another. You're either just really happy or really sad. And I'm not talking about somebody who's got a mental problem, because that could be a mental problem when it gets to be too extreme. But many of us could practice stoicism as a form of self-control and self-mastery, as a form of power. Not power over others, but power like an X-Men power, like a power that you have over yourself, a superpower. Because when you can control your emotions, you don't have to be the one in the room who is lost in the event, who's swayed by the storm. You can remain calm, and that calmness is leadership. If you're having problems being taken more serious, here's just some simple ideas that you can marinate on. Thanks for watching.